Hey guys, welcome back to another one. A new day, a whole new batch of libtard videos to get into. I regretted missing last night. My buddy ended up coming over a little bit late, and I was like, should I try and squeeze one in? But no, I wasn't going to have time to do it. And then, to be honest with you guys, I feel a little off my game today. I started working at this several hours ago, and just, I don't know, it's kind of in slow motion today. Having one of those days where my brain and my mouth aren't getting along too well, but either way, we're going to make our way through this video. I'd like to give another shout out again to the DrunkPinata, running my show again. Really appreciate it. What do they call it? The Pinata-holics. That's an awesome name. Quite a few of his viewers have made their way over this way also as well to support the channel. I appreciate you guys. I thank you very much. I would like to recommend my viewers, check out the links in the description below. Go check out his show. It's a really cool show. 2-hour live show every day. 2 p.m. Eastern time was when I catch it. That's when it seems to go live. And he covers a lot of stuff, daily news stuff. He does a lot of crazy clips and stuff like this that we go through. But, it's great. Anybody who wants to pick on Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid is a damn good person in my books. So definitely go check him out. His links will be in the description below. Again, looking through clips today, I had one of those days where there's so many clips I picked, guys, that I wanted to talk on, but I feel like it's my anger that more or less wants to talk. I on this platform, there's certain things I just can't really say. So I am debating on opening up a second channel over on Rumble and possibly doing extended cuts to these videos. Like, say, for instance, I'll make the original video intended for Rumble, and then I'll kind of snip it down a bit to make it YouTube friendly over here. Because there's a lot of topics I really want to get into or elaborate on further, and I have to watch my tongue over here. There's certain things I just can't say and I can't deep dive into, and I'd really love to, but unfortunately, on this platform here, I can't do it. So I might jump into the Rumble game also, guys. So if I do, I'll let you guys know, and hopefully you guys will follow me on over there, and we can get in some more deep dive conversations of the stuff we like to talk about here. So tonight we are doing Whining Liberal Men, Part 15. Can you guys believe Part 15? I remember when I said on the 15th Liberal Tears video, I couldn't believe I did my 15th Liberal Tears video, and now it's just Part 15 of just this category. So it's going to be a good one. I've cut up a lot of clips for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it.
It's really weird how one of the side effects of Trump derangement syndrome is fucking being right about everything we said he was going to do. Like, don't be hysterical, libtard. He has nothing to do with Project 2025.
It's not over. It's not over until I say so.
I hate Donald Trump, and I am all over this app and multiple other apps evidently saying that I hate him. I do. It is a burning, burning hatred. I've never felt this way about another human being, ever in all of human history.
Oh, your grandma's gonna get deported because you voted for Trump? Sounds like your grandma wasn't making America great.
Well, Trump really just said this.
Should I run again? You tell me.
And this comes just one day after the White House posted Trump as a king. And of course, Trump will try and frame this as a joke because it's always a joke until people show up at the U.S. Capitol looking to hang their own party's vice president because he dared push back on making the loser of the election the winner. So the next time they claim that this is all just comedy, sorry if I don't buy it.
Just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. I've had enough of your bullshit. You're always talking. Shut your fucking mouth.
And if you guys are wondering about, I am, and some of you making comments about that I'm in my house. Yeah, I lost my job because of the election. I had to basically quarantine myself because I'm not safe. It's not safe for me to be around you guys. It's not safe for you. None of you. If you see my face and know me, I had to quit my job because I was going to come after you. I could not trust myself not to hurt you.
All right, so Frodo Baggins here was thinking about your well-being. He couldn't trust himself that he wasn't going to hurt MAGA supporters. We've seen Frodo here a couple times now. Well, more than a couple times in the channel. He's getting worse and worse and worse with his tough talking. And coincidentally, I checked out his TikTok page today, he hasn't put up a video in about 5 days, which is strange because he's usually literally legit on every day, 2-3 videos a day, claiming he makes his thousands of new followers every day. Since we last talked about it, he's at like 14,000 some odd. Now I think he's at 16,000. This is well over a week ago. So it's still a decent pace. 2,000 followers in a week is still great, but he claims he gets that per day. But he's usually on daily, pandering to the female audience, trying to be their internet hero. And he's been doing a lot of tough talking lately. And, he hasn't been around now in 5 days. So, I mean, I'm definitely, fingers crossed. I don't want anything to happen to the guy in any way. But he should maybe just, be a little bit more careful and watch his tongue. Because he literally doesn't speak any common sense. He just tries to play from this heroic point of view. I'm out for blood now. I'm looking for MAGAs. I'm looking for the Proud Boys. I had to quit my job since the election. This is a more recent video. So we're talking all of November, all of December, all of January, and now halfway through February, 3.5 months. He had to quit his job for the safety of MAGA because he may hurt them. He's obviously making a few bucks off of TikTok. I guess it looked, a great reason for him to all of a sudden just be unemployed. But trying to make it look like, he can't contain himself. I don't know, maybe it looks like 5'6" of him with his hobbitness.
I know American politics is mainly about the lesser of two evils, but if you ever looked at Donald Trump and anyone else and looked at him as the lesser of two evils, you've lost the fucking plot. Hillary and Kamala were imperfect candidates, but Jesus Christ, this motherfucker is terrible.
You know nothing. You know nothing. You know shit about shit.
There's not been a single person who I hate, loathe, abhor more than Donald John Trump.
Oh, you're going to lose your farm because you voted for Trump? Sounds like your farm wasn't making America great.
So contrary to popular belief, more isn't always better. So why am I telling you this? If you voted for Trump or you support that man in any way, shape, or form, unfollow my fucking page right now because I don't want you here. You don't belong here. You supported a man who hates anyone that isn't like him.
Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Everything is ruined. Everything is ruined and we cannot get it back.
This is why you need to be a critical thinker when you're looking at all the shit that Trump does. Let's look at 2 executive orders he's done since February to show you the insidiousness of our administration. Let's look. This is the first order, expanding access to in vitro fertilization. This sounds amazing. A Trump supporter will look at this and be like, see, told you Trump cares about women. He really loves women. Let's look at the order. Lowering the cost and reducing barriers to IVE. Within 90 days of the date of this order, the Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy shall submit to the President a list of policy recommendations on protecting IVF access and aggressively reducing out-of-pocket and health plan costs for IVF treatment. Now let's look at the second order and then we're going to talk about the comparison. Ending radical indoctrination in K-12 schooling from January 29th. Let's look at what it says. This section falls under the things that you cannot do, right? Say that virtues such as merit, excellence, hard work, fairness, neutrality, objectivity, and racial colorblindness are racist or sexist or were created by members of a particular race, color, sex, or national origin to oppress members of another race, color, sex, or national origin. Wonder why our all-white administration would want to do that. Let's keep going. They also you cannot say that the United States is fundamentally racist, sexist, or otherwise discriminatory. Again, I'm so shocked that our all-white, pro-mustache man from Germany administration would say you can't say those things. Gee willikers. But that's not what we're talking about. Did you notice anything about those 2 orders? The first one is a suggestion. The IVF thing to help women, that's just a suggestion. It's just a suggested list for him to potentially review. The one about white privilege in schools, because that continues on the bottom of that order from what we already read, that's definitive. He's saying don't say it or you will be legally charged. Now you see which one he cares more about. He cares more about protecting white comfort, white fragility, than he does about people having families. That is a theme throughout our fucking administration. Please, people.
So he just went through 2 executive orders. I watched this video a couple times to blow up the screen. I honestly didn't feel like looking up these executive orders online, so I'm just relying on what he's showing us. And I guess that's the importance of it anyways, because this is what he's presenting to his audience. I don't see the problem with what he's trying to point out. Executive order number 1 with the whole IVF thing. He's trying to say afterwards that, oh, that's just, tricky wording. It's just going to go to Trump for review if he wants to do it. That's not how I read it. What I'm reading is more or less Trump will review several different options for it, and then they're going to make a decision at that time. Trump is stuck by IVF the entire time through his campaign. He's not going to pull back on that whatsoever. And then executive order number 2 here, ending radical indoctrination in K through 12. Did you see how he flipped it? I mean, you read it, it is all, very professional sounding words and whatnot. To somebody who's got a little bit of a slower mind, maybe he can pull a fast one on them, but he turned it into a white supremacy executive order right in front of our eyes, when that's not at all what it's saying. It's pretty much, well, from what I can understand from this executive order, is stating racism is over. No more pushing racial theory, no more pushing racism on each other, no more accusing this of being racist, that being racist. What that executive order is pretty much well stating is all students are equal despite their skin color. But then he states something, because he only reads about halfway through the executive order, and he leaves his head covering the bottom half. And he pretty much well states that, well, it was all about white supremacy. That's what the bottom of it was. That's, I just read it myself right there, and, well, from what I could see past his head. Not at all. This, again, is Trauma Bear gaslighting for views and clicks. All right, so I just had to stop recording for 1 second, and I blew it up to see the executive order he's talking about. The second one's the one that's really got my interest here. Bear with me here for a second, right? From what I can understand, let me just jot a few words at you guys. Virtues such as, this is what you cannot say. This is what the executive order is saying. You could not claim that virtues such as merit, excellence, hard work, fairness, neutrality, objectivity, and racial colorblindness are racist or sexist, or were created by members of a particular race, color, sex, or national origin to oppress members of another race, color, sex, or national origin. Or, to me, what I'm seeing is stop that racist shit in school. That's exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that there's no more race baiting. They don't want students race baiting between one another. This is what's been going on for a little while now, right? If you step on somebody's toe, all of a sudden you're a racist. If you have a different view about something in history, you're racist or you're anti-Semitic. And it's gone way too far, because there's people now that are literally scared, even though you have the right to free speech. There's people that are literally scared to speak freely because they might say the wrong thing to the wrong person before you know it. Oh God, I'm a racist. That's what I can see what this executive order is trying to put an end to. All right, the second part, and I find this actually convenient too with this executive order that he has up. It's starting at section 7, section 8. Where's sections 1 through 6? What does that say? I probably should have pulled this up. But the second part of it is stating that you cannot state that the United States is fundamentally racist, sexist, or otherwise discriminatory. And that's actually a good thing, obviously, because United States citizens are sitting there claiming, oh, we're a white supremacist, white nationalist state. That racism just is rampant and running wild all across the United States. Donald Trump wants to deport even American citizens. If you're brown, he wants to deport you. All right, so in closing with Trauma Bear here, I get a kick out of Trauma Bear. I definitely get a kick out of him, but lately I find he's pushing certain buttons that he shouldn't be pushing, and he's starting to remind me of a male version of Joy Reid. Friendlier, not quite as hateful as Joy Reid, but he's starting to turn that way. Everything's starting to turn with him racial. And he likes to do the whole picking on Christianity thing left, right, and center. I guess because the election's over, he's got to have a whole new shtick to go with. But he has turned into, the male version of Joy Reid. What he is stating here at the end is, oh, that's just the part we read, but it goes on to state, executive order number 2, that it's all about, upholding their white supremacy within elementary schools. And that the first executive order is nothing more than just a suggestion for Trump's review. He told one big lie, another big lie, with one of his many, many videos that this guy puts out on a daily basis, being dishonest with his viewers. That's enough of Trauma Bear for now.
3 things. Tax the churches, eat the rich, and fuck this fascist piece of shit administration. Happy Saturday.
Fuck! 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 Fuck!
I fucking hate Donald Trump. I am trying to get through this. I'm fucking sober, you guys. Like, I'm not doing any drugs, not doing no alcohol. And it's like, oh, God, don't watch the news. It just gives you nightmares now. All I have to say, I know this is the oldest trope in American politics. Imagine if a Democrat did this.
Or you're going to lose your rights because you voted for Trump? Sounds like your rights weren't making America great.
In the same way that the Trumpies don't trust the vaccine or what's in the tap water, I don't trust whatever the fuck it is that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants to do to Coca-Cola. He keeps talking a big game about how he's going to make them take out the high fructose corn syrup and replace it with real sugar and take out all the additives that are bad for you. Look, first and foremost, I know Coca-Cola is bad for me. That's why I drink it. I want it to kill me. Secondly, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. looks like he wants to kill me. I can see it in his eyes. He wants to murder me as well as many other people, and he's going to use Coca-Cola as a vehicle to do such. Whatever that man demands be put in here, I'm not drinking that shit. And I love Coca-Cola. This is going to be one of the hardest things I ever do in my life. I'm going to have to put it down because I do not want to intake whatever fucking Nazi hemorrhoid cream he wants to put in this shit that's going to make me die.
There's nothing here for me. I wanted to believe that there was something made for me here. But this place has nothing going on for me. Nothing.
They want to take away the antipsychotics. They want to take away the pills from the people who make them not hear the fucking voices in their head that tell them that the angels are telling them to fix all this shit right now in the only way fucking possible. Yeah, that's going to end well. Good job, RFK Jr., dude, who's definitely made nothing but good fucking life decisions so long that he's the only candidate that's never been considered a fucking threat by the United States government. This goddamn grifter who's going to end up taking away all these fucking pills from people so their lives get fucking worse. Then he's going to shove them into fields in the middle of fucking America so they can stand around so they can pull peanuts out of the ground as he screams with his broken dick sucked voice going, no, it's actually not. They're not seeds. Peanuts aren't seeds. They're legumes, so they're fine. It's the vaccines that made people die from Snickers. Yeah, you fucking piece of shit. And anyone who fucking defends RFK, by the way, now from here on out, they're a fucking Fed, they're a PSYOP, they're a shill, they're CIA, they're FBI. Why? Because RFK Jr. is the government now, baby. RFK Jr. is the fucking government now. The government is RFK. If you like RFK, you're a fucking Fed. Go move yourself to red, white, and blue land, okay? We can't even call it fucking Greenland anymore. That shit's fucking woke, baby. We just fired 250,000 people. People. I know you could fucking be like, no, they're federal employees. Blah. Their job was to work at the fucking USDA and the FAA and all these other fucking agencies whose whole thing was making sure planes don't fall out of the sky and making sure that when you ate a fucking can of SpaghettiOs, it wasn't so full of goddamn botulism that your forehead ended up looking like the White House press secretaries because that old 27-year-old bitch can't even fucking furrow her brow anymore because she's had so much fucking shots put into her forehead. You would have thought it was RFK Jr.'s arm.
Okay, so before we get into this one here, I just wanted to make one thing a little clear. It was a couple videos ago I made comments about antipsychotic medications. I may have not elaborated on it enough. I did have one of the viewers left a comment concerned about it, talking about, well, what do you mean that liberals seem to be more medicated than conservatives, and asked me to back it up a little bit. So we went back and forth a little bit, and obviously we patched it all up and it's all good. So what I just wanted to make clear is anybody who is prescribed medications, I hold nothing against them. I don't look down on them in that regard at all. If somebody needs their medications, they need their medications. Bottom line, that's fine. I don't use any form of medication myself. I'm not judgmental in any way. But I would like to point out, again with my comparisons, when it comes to the right versus the left when it comes to meds. I don't see any, not a single video, just like the whole leaving MAGA thing. I don't see one video of anybody that's on the right, and especially anybody younger that's on the right. We'll get into that in a sec. I don't see any videos of anybody on the right complaining about, oh, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to take away all of our psych meds. I'm only seeing it from very unhingy libtards. That's it. That's all. Pearl Mania here. Obviously, I mean, it's pretty clear that he must be reliant on, with how unhinged he's acting in this video, must be reliant on a decent little handful of his gummy bears. But if anybody is curious about this situation, you can just Google this search. And I don't usually recommend Google as doing research, but you'll actually find results on page number 1 of Google if you look from university studies and scientific studies and whatnot. When it comes to the comparison of use between right versus left when it comes to medications like this. And what does turn out, because I wasn't even looking at it from a politically motivated point of view, I don't find, if you really think about it, to be a leftist, you don't even have to like politics. It's a character trait. And the same thing with somebody who's on the right. It's a character trait without even politics being involved. So my intent with this whole usage from left and right, it had nothing to do with politics, but I actually ended up finding a study showing that there is actually an impact when it comes to the political policies for certain people on the left that stresses them out, such as like climate change and the gun control and whatnot. But what I think is much more highly concerning about this is it's very irregular for so many young individuals. And this again is from, watching a lot of these TikTok videos. I see a lot of young individuals that are early to late 20s that are constantly talking about their medication and therapy. And to me, I'm sorry, I find that's a little abnormal. The rate's a little high. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is people that are that age that do have to rely on certain medications and therapy. It is needed. But it seems like, again, this is just me throwing a figure out there, so don't take this as definitive fact. It almost seems like 8 out of every 10 young, far left individuals are medicated and going through therapy. And I think that is something that needs to be looked into. And RFK Jr. is going to make a huge change on the impact of this. It doesn't mean he's going to be taking away people's meds and sending them off to wellness farms. This is the new thing now, that everybody's going to be put in this like pretty little concentration camp that, takes away your medication. That's not at all what's going on. But these younger individuals do need help.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. For the guys leaving the comments and laughing at me, go ahead. My partner didn't know what a real man was until she met me either.
Hello, if you're a gay guy and you're interested in dating me, please know that I'm available. I'm 43 years old. I've never been happier. I hate Donald Trump. The hatred is so real today. I'm not bypassing any of this. I hate that man. Say when the flower is ready, the bees will come. And I feel like I'm ready. He's an asshole. He's a selfish prick. He's just a bad guy. Honestly, I have never been happier. If you're a man, and you get some time in your life to just work on your mental health, do that. It's the best possible thing you can do for yourself, seriously. There needs to be a word that's stronger than hatred to describe how it is I feel about Donald Trump and his supporters. I don't know if you're a gay guy, 35, up, whatever, and you find me attractive. Look, beautiful blue eyes. I don't know if you can see that. Hello. This is going to be really silly. I'll probably delete this. Abhor. I abhor Donald Trump, which doesn't have the same bite as hatred, but I abhor that man. I love you. I love all the gay guys in the world and all the other non-gay men, honestly. If you're a man, I pretty much love you. If you voted for him, I swear to God, I hope you suffer. I truly do. In this life and all your future lives. I think it should be normal for men to love other men. And I really love men, and I'm ready to love you. What? A total psychopath.
You're losing your health care because you voted for Trump? Sounds like you being healthy isn't making America great.
Maybe I don't want to live in America while he's president. So try again. Second of all, fuck him.
Kamala, where the fuck are you? Maybe I missed the videos or the news, or maybe you're doing things in silence, but I know you didn't win the presidency. But did you forget the millions and millions of Americans that voted for you? I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. I feel like if anybody should be speaking out right now, it should be the person that every single American that fucking hates Donald Trump. It should be the other person that we voted for. Where is Kamala? Do you see how I can get upset with a politician that I feel like isn't there for me? I have said it multiple times. I don't give a fuck who is in that Oval Office. If they tell me they're gonna do one thing and then they do some shit that's totally different, it's fuck you. And I will be right there with everybody else, screaming for your impeachment. That's what baffles me about the Trump supporters. Y'all will end relationships with your loved ones this one time you get to walk this earth, just for this wild hope that Donald Trump will walk up and give you a hug. You are in a cult when you would rather get this fake approval from Donald Trump than you would to continue a relationship with a family member or a close friend. You are in a fucking cult.
So to any liberal out there that actually shares this young man's view about where is Kamala, you're kind of leaving us out here hanging out to dry. Are you guys really are you really surprised? Could you not tell how unprepared she was with her whole campaign run? That 107 flawless days of campaigning that only costed a little over, what was it, $100 million? Was that what it was? $100 million? My gosh, that was a lot of money down the drain. I've said it a few times, so I'm not really going to go too far into it, but Kamala Harris was a god-awful, terrible candidate. She did not have the American people at heart. That was all a big pitch. She was going to say whatever she had to. I mean, look, she was known to be a radical, far-left progressive. I'll hold my tongue there. But then all of a sudden she switched to Donald Trump policies to try and win over voters. All of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm totally for drilling. Oh yeah, we got to close down that border. We got to get tough on crime. She was full of it. She was going to tell you guys whatever you wanted to hear just to get your vote. So what I've said in the past, before the election, is that Kamala Harris, all those promises that she made, she meant it 110% until November 6th. She meant it right up until the election. She was using everybody. I mean, look at all the different accents. Depending on what state she went to go visit, she tried to act like one of them with her pandering. She all of a sudden, I know this is another whole other argument for a whole other day on a whole other platform, but she's Jamaican and Indian descent, right? She was a proud Indian until she became a presidential candidate. Then all of a sudden, we even heard some patois come out of her mouth. All of a sudden, then she wanted to get in touch with her Jamaican side. And there's actually no proof that she was Black Jamaican. Still to date, there's no proof of that. Again, though, my opinion, YouTube, I don't actually have any hard factual research on that. That's a topic for another platform. But these poor young voters were used. And this guy seems to be in shock and awe. And, I honestly kind of feel bad for this guy here. And even up until the point where he's like, you know what? I don't even care who's in that Oval Office. I just want to get things done, is what he's saying. I was thinking, all right, he seems to be somewhat level-headed. He was, a Kamala voter, but he seems somewhat level-headed. It looks like, even if Kamala lost, as long as we're getting things done in the Oval Office that we're asking for, I'm cool with that. Then he goes off in this whole TDS tirade. I cut this clip out of a much longer clip. This is just the beginning of it. I was going to use the entire clip, but I figured it would be a little bit too long, but perhaps I'll use the other portion in another video in the future. And you did get to see a small display of his TDS in that clip. And to strongly correct him on something where he's saying, that's what baffles me about Trump supporters is y'all will end relationships for Donald Trump. No, Trump supporters are not ending any relationships. That's all liberals. 150% liberals. Don't even try and point the finger in that direction. You don't see any Trump supporters saying, you can't come over here for Thanksgiving because you voted for Kamala. No, they all have something up their butt and like, I can't even deal with my Trump supporting family. I'm shunning them for the holidays. And you gotta love how they keep throwing the term out there that you guys are in a cult. If you're willing to lose a family member for Donald Trump's approval, nobody's looking for Donald Trump's approval. Donald Trump got the approval of the voters to do the job that he's been doing. And for the past month, he's been kicking ass. These guys can say whatever the hell they want. They're in full-fledged panic mode. There's no Trump supporters that look at Donald Trump or MAGA as a cult. As a matter of fact, cultists are pretty much well brainwashed and indoctrinated. And that's clearly, absolutely clearly, what's going on in the left. How can the liberal supporters, the Democrat supporters, not see the past 4 years was god-awful and a complete failing administration? Now, it was because of, TDS. They've been programmed to be anti-Trump. So the choices are clear. It's either stick around with this terrible administration that offers you no security and wide open borders, or worry about that absolute threat to democracy and, Schmittlers, as they like to call them. This is brainwashing. And I don't want to label them as a cult, but I mean, if any one or the two are a cult, it's, you got to kind of point, to the left side. Well, guys, as usual, I got one last one for you. I'm going to try and put up another one for you guys tomorrow. I wanted to do two today, but again, I was kind of working a little bit in slow-mo today. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And as I said, check that link in the description to go check out DrunkPinata's his show. Have a good one.
So I've seen some discourse on here lately about whether or not we should be taking any enjoyment in the find out phase that a lot of MAGA is experiencing now, and whether we should be enjoying their pain. And I've seen folks say, well, it makes us no better than they are, or you never really cared about human rights if you're enjoying seeing their pain. Well, let me explain something to you. I've tried for over 8 years to explain to these people that they're voting against their own self-interest, because that's all they really care about is their own self-interest. I've tried being nice to them. I've tried explaining logic to them. I've tried explaining science to them. I've tried explaining basic human empathy to them. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, no matter how much you try. Okay? And now you watch them laughing it up, enjoying, watching the trans community in this country fight for their very existence to not go extinct. Okay? Watch them enjoy having to force 11-year-old children to give birth. Watch them enjoy peaceful, law-abiding, hardworking immigrants get sent to fucking concentration camps. And watch them laugh. Okay? They put my friends' lives in danger. My family's lives in danger. I will never forgive them or anybody that helped them. So Am I going to take at least a little bit of enjoyment out of some MAGA fuckhead losing his farm because he was dumb enough to vote for Donald Trump? You're goddamn right I am.